Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's time. It is time for the next step in our digital clean sweep. Yesterday morning, I tackled the apps on my phone with you. And even though it was kind of tricky to show you, what I was doing on my phone, I got to tell you that I spent maybe 5 more minutes afterward and I had everything cleaned up the way I wanted it to be. I had deleted some stuff I hadn't used in forever, and I had created those folders and put things together that belong together. And now I'm down to just 2 home screens on my phone, which makes me much happier because you know how much time we spend looking at those things, right? Probably way too much time. But at least now I can find everything really quickly. It didn't even take me very long to find all the things. But today we have a new task. Today's task is the dreaded desktop. And anybody who knows me knows that I am pretty picky about keeping my desktop clean and tidy. Anytime I see someone's computer desktop and there are icons everywhere, like just all over the desktop screen, it just sort of makes me take a big deep breath because it's just too much to take in. How can you find anything when it's all over your desktop? So full transparency, full disclosure, you know how I am about that. My desktop right now on my school laptop is an absolute train wreck. Absolute train wreck. I have been dropping things on it all year long. Now, I don't drop everything on it because I am pretty particular about it and I don't like it to get like this, but there have been so many times where I've been in a rush. You know what I'm talking about. I've been in a hurry. I've just needed something. I've needed it quickly. And it's like a one-time use type thing probably, or it might be something I need to get back at from time to time. And I just drop it right there on the desktop. So I am going to clean it up. I'm going to clean up my desktop this morning. I'm about to show you it. Try not to, gasp too deeply. If your desktop looks like mine, I feel your pain. If your desktop looks better than mine, I'm very happy for you. This is my desktop right now. I will tell you that I use 2 screens. So a lot of the time, my desktop is kind of like spread out. So all of this stuff over in this general area is often spread out on a different screen, a different monitor, which is nice because it doesn't feel as cluttered then, but it's bad because it doesn't feel as cluttered as it actually is. So I have dragged everything over onto one monitor just to be able to see what a mess I really have. So here are my tips for how I'm going to clean this up today. And there's more than one way to do it. So for starters, I can right click out in some empty space if you can find some. And I can go to this like sort by, and I can get everything sorted by name, size, or type, or even by the date that it was modified. So sorting them is one way to do it because then everything sort of pops into these columns and rows, which is easier to deal with. But there's another thing going on here. It's still just all these icons out here, and I'd have to like look at them one by one, drag them where I want them, and all kinds of things. So since so many of them are just individual files, I am going to right click again, and I'm going to make a new folder. This just works for me because, all right, so let's think about this for a minute. On your physical workspace, do you ever end up with papers and notebooks and pencils and all different things that they're just cluttered all around you? And if so, do you ever find yourself ready to sort through them? And one of the things you do is categorize them first, right? So all the papers maybe get piled and stacked in one place. and then you can go through and kind of touch them one by one and see what they are. Well, that's how I like to do it. I don't know about you, but that's how I like to do it. I like to get it all combined together. So that's why I'm going to make a folder, and I'm going to call it Clean Up Desktop, right? So that I know what I'm going to be doing with this folder. So this folder's entire purpose is to clean up the desktop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to snag files. I'm going to click and drag around files to select them, and then click on that group and drag them and drop them in this folder to get the desktop cleaned up. So I want to be careful to only get files. There are some things on the desktop that are shortcuts and stuff. So just sort of watch enough to know that you're not pulling something that actually belongs on the desktop. So that's why I'm just grabbing little bits at a time. It shouldn't be too difficult. But there are some things like this force update thing that is part of our school system stuff. And then my WebEx shortcut, which is the tool that we use for teaching in live lessons for online learning. So I don't want to move those. So all I want to grab are like individual files. I don't even really want to move folders, because folders are a method that I use for sorting some things. So folders are actually a good thing on my desktop because they already contain things that have been categorized and sorted and organized. All right, so there we go. I have snagged, I think, yes, I've got all the individual files. The individual files are all in this cleanup desktop folder now. Okay, so let's reorganize. Let's view. Let's make the icons a little bigger. Now I can see them better, and so can you. And let's sort them again by name. Okay, now let's see. Where's my cleanup desktop? Where did it go? Uh-oh, I lost it. They got big. They got too big. Hold on. Medium. Did it go? All right. I feel like, hold on a second. I feel like it's sorting them and putting them on the wrong monitor. So I need to go look for them. Give me 1 second while I do that. Let's see. Yep. They moved them all over to my other monitor. I got to bring them all back over. Okay. That's so funny. All right. Here we go. So I guess I'll just leave them right here for a moment and work with it from here. Okay, now let me go back and share again. Okay. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay, so here's my clean up desktop right here. Let me open this up. So now I can see this. You can't see it because it opened it on my other screen. Here we go. Now you can see it. It opened it up in my library. And now I can see all of the things that were in, that were cluttering my desktop, and I can deal with them one by one. So I'm going to sort these and view them by type. So I'm going to go to view, and I'm going to group by type. That way I can continue to sort these more quickly. So all of these video things right here, these are video tutorials, these MP4s that I have used throughout the year. And I am going to move these into my Canvas folder because that's where I used those video tutorials. So I am going to come down here to the MP4s that I selected, and I'm going to drop them inside this Canvas folder. And then these images, some of these images really aren't important and some of them are. So I'm going to need to decide, like this one for the 100 Day of School. I don't really need that. I don't need the book fair picture. I do use this draggable text icon, and I actually use it in my Canvas LMS. So I'm going to put that in my Canvas folder. And so what I love about this is that now I can keep my most commonly used things in folders right on the desktop, but I can have them organized and not just loose all over the place. All right, so I've got some other JPEGs, some other images that I'm going to have to think about a little bit. So this is going to take me a few minutes, right, to go through all of the different items. I'm going to think about each one of the PDF files that are here and decide where they best go. Some of it is data and some of it are files that I'm working with to do some review teaching. So I will take some time and go through these. And by the time I'm done with it, my desktop is not going to be very cluttered. These objects are all going to be, these folders are all going to be sorted and organized and placed. I'm going to end up right-clicking and sorting them probably by name because I just like seeing things in alphabetical order. That's what works for me. And I'm going to be a happier person when I look at my desktop because it won't be as cluttered as it was when I first started today. This can be a really quick, easy task. Hope you don't find it to be too difficult, but remember, don't let this add stress to your plate. I know that a lot of us are on spring break right now, so hopefully you're not feeling a whole lot of stress and you're taking good care of yourself, doing some self-care things this week anyway, but definitely don't let these tasks stress you out. If they become stressful, stop and walk away. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Hope you're having a good day. Hope this task helps you. I'm glad to have you joining me for this. And 2 quick, easy tasks done after today. Hooray for that. Remember, you can also go to the guides and you can see some of the old tasks from last year's group. If you feel like digging in a little deeper and tackling something else, feel free to go ahead. And you can also click the done button on the on each task on the guide after you watch the video and after you do the task. You can click done. You can leave questions for me and give each other tips and celebrate your accomplishments with this. This is meant to be a feel-good kind of thing. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow for task number 3.